The broad-based government is an illegality. It has no provision in law. You either have a majority or a minority, or a government and opposition. And you cannot have one leg in government and the other leg in opposition. ODM must decide finally and fully where it is. If the ministers are on their own, then we should know. If the ministers are from ODM in government are supported by ODM members in parliament, then ODM members have to leave opposition and join government. They need to cross the aisle and be on the other side of government, so that now the rest of Azimio, which is a registered coalition, together with Kenya Kwanza, there are only two coalitions in the country registered by the registrar and operating from the floor of the House. And therefore, one has to make a decision. You cannot be in opposition at the same time in government. And we really want that determined urgently by the leadership of Azimio. We want to see the ODMs who want to cross the aisle, and the ODMs who want to defect now and remain in Azimio. They make it clear so that we can absorb them in other Azimio political parties, and the ODM can be left with a few who want to cross and be on the side of government.
We want to congratulate the people of Embu who stood with our young generation, the Gen Zs, when they overwhelmingly came out to reject the Finance Act 2024. We tried last year with Jeremiah Kioni that time and our other friends, and we fell short. But the Gen Z said, stay behind. And they brought an amazing change in our country. The Finance Act 2024, the terrible act legislation, is a result of a parliament that has been captured by the executive. The young people said no. In fact, they breached parliament because they went to serve a petition on their legislators. But the police, instead of allowing them to serve the petition, decided to kill them. Some of them were shot dead outside houses of parliament. And we went to see them when some of them were lying in the mortuary. People took the power. Under Article 1 of the Kenyan Constitution, the sovereignty of the Kenyan Republic is vested in the people themselves. And the people can choose to exercise it either directly or through their elected representatives. So what the Gen Zs did was, when they realized that the elected representatives who should carry their mandate or whatever, act on their behalf, when they realized they've been state captured by the executive, they decided to go directly. So as far as some of us are concerned in terms of legal jurisprudence, people took the power. And no matter what may have happened thereafter, formation of the so-called government, broad-based government, which has not taken into account the concerns of the Gen Z, we think that that is an act of futility. It is a betrayal, actually a betrayal. It's like kicking the youth on their teeth. Na kuambia mutadu. So this is this government of so-called broad-based government is riding on the death of our children. And nobody has even dared to look behind and say, what happened? So from Embu, we want to show solidarity with the people of Embu who came out and demonstrated. The right to demonstrate is guaranteed under the Constitution. Ni right. Now these are the rights that Mzee Kibaki gave, and some of us were privileged to be standing next to him when we saw allegiance to Constitution 2010. Under Constitution 2010, there are certain basic inalienable rights. You can't take them away. I think the word inalienable means you cannot take them. They are part of who we are now. Therefore, these basic rights are what the people of Embu came out to defend. Na mimi nataka tu niseme msiogope, kaeni ngumu, Munaona sasa sisi tumeamua kwamba tutakuwa wapinzani wa dhati bila kusita, kwa sababu nchi yenyewe inatarajia kwamba we stand strong. Na Wakenya, mtuamini, there's a real big trust deficit in this country. The choice is between kuokoa Zakayo na timu yake ama kuokoa Kenya. Sisi tumeamua kuokoa Kenya, na ndio naona tuko hapa leo. Na wengine wenu waliandika huko Nairobi, nataka muwajibu kutoka Embu kwa niaba yangu. Museme yule Kalonzo mlikuwa mnasema ati ame soften position. Ni yule ama ni mwingine? So we are very determined to do the best thing we know for our country. So we will walk this journey and watch as we move. Kenyans will be joining in this movement for real change. Na change ambayo itakuwa na udanganyifu tena. Siasa ya udanganyifu Kenya imefikia kikomo. Sisi tumeamua kusonga mbele na Azimio na vyama tanzu, vyama members wa Azimio, wale ambao wako willing, wale ambao wameamua kuingia kwa serikali pia wako na uhuru. But I remember brothers party DAP wametoa resolution kama hiyo, kwamba wanaotaka kuingia kwa serikali wako na uhuru kuingia kwa serikali, lakini sisi tumeamua tutakuwa wapinzani. Na
kwa undu mendetwa manena ki mainena ki indeme masia andola maandie undu mesi kumara secretary general wo na maandie memoka masio kama masia ingi me katika serikali enda kwa shakana pa yundu serikali yekala itenzisie na itakukelelwa na kwa ndu wao ya wabinzani ni kukelelwa serikali kule kuima kosa na kwa ndu ile tenda kwikala katika pinzani angana tukelele serikali na tu ya ODM ya mwaye serikali ni kanandi serikali na ndamwe serikali ni makila ni mbunge malike ngaliko ya serikali titi wangaliko nangi tosa ivela isusi bau na tiunga miobinzani neza na jokwa ile tenda na umbana kwa mituki wa unene wa Azimio na kenda na gara ila alwete tulio kala serikali ni kanende ni wa serikali na kenda kuma bawende tosa atwa ya mea wanadhani kuthiko tini twa mulewe ODM ye katika binzani kana katika serikali lakini ndo mamea na mawaziri mayo ndo mato na kusisi wavuko wa mawaziri mo mecha amani kimwe kwa umakela nilie totiwete ubinzani kana to ibange yolo 2027.
I was vice president to Kibaki. Others, Ruto was vice president to Uhuru, right? Gachagua society in the vice president, deputy president wa Ruto. Which of the three can you say was truly faithful and loyal to their boss? That is a question for you, usinijibu sahi. Ambaye rais mwenyewe angelala kabisa na kujua nchi iko sawa. Vision 2030 was established. Usikii wakiongea juu ya Vision 2030 anymore. They talk about vision themselves. And this is why the Gen Zs have come up and they've made it very, very clear. And we, for example, this team, we all have Gen Zs in our home states. And we know exactly what they're saying. Some of them are saying, "Nyinyi hamutuelewi." Hey, we have understood them. And the message is loud and clear. This country will never be the same again in terms of governance, in terms of people wanting to misuse our resources for their own selfish gain. It's serious work under progress. Yeah, and we don't want to use archaic phrases like "we shall not leave any stone unturned." No, whatever. We are serious people. We are very serious people. We are determined. And for example, please disabuse anybody who is thinking that we are softening. Softening what? First of all, we have been very clear-minded. All right? Wengine wanasema we are at a crossroads. What crossroads? We have been here before, and we know where we are going. All right? So we want to tell Kenyans, we are with you. In your villages, kwa shida hizi twazielewa. Gharama hiyo ngumu ya maisha. Our education sector is a mess. Complete mess. where you have a president issuing roadside declarations. Haijulikani watoto wajua ataenda kusoma vipi kwa vyuo namna gani. Quality of education is gone down. We have a lot of work to do. And we'll do it from opposition, and we will make it clear to Kenyans what we are trying to do every step of the way. Hata akaongea kwa lugha ya mama nikasikia kabisa. Mtu akipatikana na shida yake ataweza sema hata mimi niliongea na Uhuru jana. Kwa hivyo I don't think that's a way to go. It is very clear, and you are dealing with very responsible leaders who are determined to get rid of a culture of lies in politics in Kenya. Now, we have a history, by the way, and some of us strongly mentored by Mzee Melala, Mwai wa Kibaki. We know that these people are desperate. They cannot wait to raid the people's pockets again. We know they want to introduce road tolls. Yes. Well, I want to tell Ruto and his people, if you want to bring road tolls again, please go build your own house, your own roads, not the ones that Kibaki and Uhuru built, and then you can introduce the tolling. For example, the Thika superhighway. Kibaki and us gave the people of this region ability to get to their farms and to their respective places. If you introduce a road toll on Thika superhighway, what are you trying to do? You are raiding further the people's pockets. So tutapinga hiyo kabisa. Hatutakubali. And again, wakileta hiyo through parliament, call them out. Call members of parliament out. I met the area member of parliament where we are. He had done well. He voted no. But when Ruto came here, he said, "Oh, I apologize." You don't do that. And I met him out. He's a chair of young leaders. I wish him well, but let him remain consistent. If you take a decision, principled decision, because he was telling the Youth Congress, he received 10,000 messages on his telephone, and he had to go by them. So I wish Mheshimiwa member for Manyata strength. Now Mukunju, no Mukunju. Akae ngumu, and we will mentor them. But you cannot say one thing today and tomorrow you say another thing. And don't be afraid. Wacha siasa ya woga kabisa, and you become a leader.